Hello celestial beings, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Simone, and here on my channel I offer spiritual guidance to empower my celestial beings and heart-centered energy healing to help you align with your higher self. So if that is something that you might be interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our family of celestial beings. Today's reading I am super excited about. I consulted my own spirit guides and I was guided to do a reading all about soul purpose. We're going to go into your south node energy, so whatever your soul is comfortable in. Then we're going to move into the energy of your north node, which is where your soul is longing to go, what your soul is longing to experience in this lifetime, any soul lessons that come up and that are needed to be learned in this lifetime. And then lastly, we're going to pull cards that go into depth about what you can do to live in your soul's purpose. I'm also going to pick 2 additional oracle cards at the end of each one of these readings in order to find out any final messages about how you can work towards your soul purpose, and then also a card that is going to give us an idea of what your magical powers are in this lifetime. So if you are as excited as I am to find out what your soul purpose is and how you can live in your soul's purpose, then go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and let's dive into these piles. Pile number 1 is a healer quartz. Pile number 2 is a chrysocolla. Pile number 3 is the selenite stone. And pile number 4 is a red tiger's eye. Now's your opportunity to take a close-up look at each one of these piles and see which pile or pile resonates with you. Now for this reading in particular, we're going to try something a little new, and what I've done is I've linked below a link to a number generator. So if you have a method for choosing your pile and you feel confident in that and using your intuition and seeing which pile you're drawn to, then go ahead and do that at this time. But if you would like little assistance from your spirit guides, then what I would like you to do is go down into the description box, open up a new window for a number generator, which I've linked below. Make sure that the number generator has a minimum of the number 1, a maximum of the number 4, and then you're going to sit for a second, take a deep breath, and ask out loud or in your mind. You're going to ask your spirit guides to help you choose the pile that is the right one for you. And once you feel like you have maybe taken a second, take a deep breath, pause, meditate, ask for your guides, and then click that number generator and it will give you the number of the pile with the messages that you need the most. Sometimes we can get cross wires and we're just not sure which pile is the right one for us. Maybe we're just feeling off one day. So this is going to be an option on my channel continuing forward. This is the intention I'm going to set for anybody who is wanting to also maybe even just practice and see if the pile that resonated most with you is also the one that the number generator chooses, because you're going to be asking your spirit guides to assist in generating that number for you. So you can play around with that if you also want to use your intuition. But if you would like an easy way to find your correct pile, I'm setting the intention for each one of my readings that this is going to be a good option for you guys, so you don't have to worry about figuring it out or being unsure of which pile to choose. This is going to make it easy so that you can go straight to the right pile for you. Now, if you do use your intuition and you feel as though you are drawn to multiple piles, you can of course always watch the multiple piles because there may be more than one message in each one of these readings. Okay, hopefully all of that information was helpful and you can choose whatever feels right for you in this reading. But once you have found your pile or piles, you can head on down into the description box below where I've posted the timestamps for each one of these readings, so you can just jump on into your reading. Now, please keep in mind these are general readings, so keep the messages that resonate with you and leave the rest. Those are most likely for somebody else who has also chosen that pile, but I believe everything happens for a reason. So be sure to watch the reading all the way through to the end just so you receive all the messages that were meant for you. Maybe at first the reading doesn't seem right, but there may be deeper messages. Sometimes we unearth a lot of different layers of messages in these readings. So I just want to be sure that if you did choose a pile, that you get the message that actually drew you to that pile to begin with. Okay guys, let's not waste any more time. I can't wait to find out all about your soul's purpose. I will see you over at your reading. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 1. I have your pile right here, and we have the healer's quartz on your pile. So I'm going to set the stone over here just so we can dive on into your reading. We're going to start with the first oracle card. And your first oracle card is the Blue Flame. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration, time. Wow, group one, it is amazing that this card came out alongside the fact that you did choose the Healer's Quartz, because this is an energy of a deep healing being, an empathic being. And what I am getting the sense of is that when you are watching this reading, you're most likely going through a very strong awakening to your soul's purpose. And you may even be moving towards a very healing time in your life, a healing energy. But what I feel like happens to you in your lifetime is that this occurs very spontaneous and quickly. According to this card, it feels as though you may feel very overwhelmed by the calling of your soul's purpose. Now, even if you're not really sure what that is exactly, and again, it doesn't have to be a career per se. It doesn't have to line up with your career, but that this awakening to your soul's purpose may happen very quickly and very suddenly, and so it could be overwhelming for you. Now, you might be going through that right now. And I think that's great, because I think this reading will offer you a lot of answers surrounding your soul's purpose. But with the Blue Flame as well, these beings, these spiritual entities and interdimensional beings that are known as Blue Flame beings are actually very powerful and assisting you through this awakening. So you may even have been connected with these Blue Flame beings when you chose this pile specifically. Maybe if you did use the number generator, they generated this number so that they can come through to you and work with you at an even deeper level. So the healing and the processing that you guys are going through is most likely also going to make you a very powerful healer yourself. So keep in mind that your abilities are very strong, that your connection to energy is very strong, that this is part of your soul purpose, is to awaken to this healing ability and these healing qualities where you are helping others and being of service in that way. Now, of course, you're still going to be healing yourself. You're still going to be working on those things as well. But I do see you as the type of soul that comes here for a very intense and spontaneous experience in your awakening. You may even find that you've had maybe multiple extreme situations in your life throughout your lifetime that have caused you to kind of either grow up very quickly or to really question your reality, question your soul's purpose, question your spirituality. All of these types of intense things have happened throughout your life to awaken you very, very quickly. So you might feel as though you're an old soul and that these things have happened to you throughout your lifetime and you've had intense awakenings throughout. And what is also really great to know too is that these Blue Flame beings are surrounding you and helping you to work through this energy. So it's always good to call upon their help during this kind of awakening process. So we're going to put this card aside, but we're going to keep going with some more tarot cards because I'm sure this energy will come up again. But what we're going to dive into is more of the South Node energy. This is going to be what your soul is already comfortable in, what your soul has already learned, and this is going to be what feels comfortable coming into this life, but also what you're working towards, maybe even the opposite with your North Node. But we'll see first what the messages are. We have Judgment in reverse. We have Justice, the Chariot, and the Hierophant. So right away I am seeing that these are all major arcana cards, and Judgment is in reverse. So there's an awakening happening still within this lifetime that's at an even deeper level. So your soul, I feel like group one, I feel like your soul is really here to have a very deep spiritual experience to the extent that you become a very powerful healer. I feel like that is part of this journey. We have Justice, the Chariot, and the Hierophant. So I'm feeling as though you are an old soul. I feel as though you are very confident, or your soul is very comfortable in building a knowledge base so that it can create balance in its life. So your soul is probably very confident in taking on challenges and finding a way to work through them and almost conquering challenges as well. Your soul isn't afraid to look deeper and to find how to use deeper meaning and spirituality to take intuitive actions throughout your life. So you may have a very strong intuition already. You may feel like it comes second nature to you. And I also feel like you're very talented in taking this knowledge and sharing it with others, maybe teaching others about this knowledge, okay? I also feel that you are pretty firmly grounded in your energy. I feel like if anything, you are very good at grounding spiritual energy. And I also feel like you aren't afraid of change and disruption, because I do feel like you maybe have gone through a lot of that. As I mentioned, you're kind of used to having to stay in control when things get out of hand, is kind of what I'm sensing. But you are, with the Judgment in reverse, I feel as though you are being tested with this energy, because even though your soul might be comfortable with resolving things and figuring out, getting to the bottom of things, getting the information, and then finding the fairness in it and figuring out the kind of like weighing options and finding the best option and then going with that option with confidence. And this could be, again, through intuition. You may also be very comfortable in religion, and almost as though your childhood may have been filled with maybe strong religious roots. You may have a lot of family tradition, a lot of family expectations that you had to kind of live up to, whether it's through religion or just through expectations. But you're almost kind of used to that. I feel like it's not something that for everybody was something that kind of disrupted you. I feel like it was very familiar to come up with some kind of routine, some kind of practice regularly, and maybe even in your childhood, that was having to do with religion or having to do with kind of your weekly, daily routine. It was very easy for you to go along with that and to move forward and progress using those methods. Like, those methods worked for you. But what I am seeing with the Judgment card is, and yes, okay, so what I am seeing with the Judgment card is that there's something about this that is actually trapping you. So in the beginning, it may have come across with the religion and everything as being very comfortable for you. But as your soul is being awakened, I feel as though these things are starting to feel like a trap. So this could mean that you're at a job that you feel like is trapping you and is actually preventing you from your soul being freed, okay? I also feel like you have kind of gotten so used to everything being in balance that your soul's kind of disrupting things a little bit more and giving you some kind of like freedom. You might be feeling that energy of like, I need to escape a cage. I need to escape this trap or this consistency. Like the routine is now becoming mundane, I guess. So let's keep going with the North Node, because we're going to gain even more insights as to kind of what your soul would like to do with this energy. Because this to me is an old soul who has really mastered a lot. So let's see what it is that your soul would like to further master in this lifetime. We have the Seven of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. The Hierophant is coming up again in reverse. And we have the Three of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this is really what your soul wants permission to do. And it's honestly, once you embrace your soul's purpose, it feels so great, because a lot of times we hang on to kind of our past lives, and then because of that, we aren't really welcoming in what our soul wants to do in this lifetime and what the change that our soul wants to have in this lifetime. So it kind of prevents us from letting all of that in. Even though we're desiring it, our mind might tell us we cannot have that, like that's not how it works, because of what our soul is so used to doing in the past. So we kind of talked a little bit about the past, and I think it will become even clearer here. So what I'm seeing with the Seven of Swords, and we have Queen of Pentacles, Hierophant, and Three of Wands in the reverse, I feel as though what is really desired in this lifetime, I'm getting the word nurture. I feel as though I get the energy of you taking care of everybody else a lot. And I also get the feeling that you are kind of always wanting to do things on your own because you found a way that you feel like everything works, right? And you feel almost, you may even feel superior in some ways because you feel like the knowledge that you do have is making it so that you're always the one who kind of has to be the teacher. And what I feel is that you're really wanting nurturing to come from somebody else. Because with the Seven of Swords, this energy is kind of giving me the sense that you're wanting to do it on your own and not get any help, or that tends to be how you approach a situation. And that's also could be because you're such a gifted healer that you want to just be of service to others and you want to like help others out. And that's not necessarily something that you have to completely throw away. But I feel like your soul does really want to be nurtured in this lifetime. I also feel that you have all the knowledge that you need to have in order to welcome in this new future. So you might be feeling as though you have so much more work to do. Like you may feel as though you need to collect or gather so much more knowledge, because that's kind of maybe your go-to way of figuring things out and working through things. Is you may collect a lot of knowledge, and this could even be self-help and wellness and things like that, where you're reading self-help books or inspiring books or studying or trying to kind of gain all this knowledge. And that's not necessarily bad, that you are wanting to kind of acquire more understanding and all of that great stuff. I do feel like, okay, because I am getting another message coming through. So I'm getting even more messages kind of surrounding this Hierophant energy, because what I'm also seeing is that I kind of mentioned before, nurturing yourself and wanting to kind of be nurtured. And what I'm seeing with the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords is even more straightforward than that, because I feel as though you do want to do things on your own. And I almost feel as though sometimes you want to just kind of go for something on your own without having to constantly worry about how it's going to affect everybody else. And I think because you have done so much in your life, like even with the Libra energy here with the Justice card, I feel like because you have done so much in your life and in past lives even, where you've been helping other people because you were so good at that, I feel as though because of that, the freedom here is coming from you being able to just kind of do what you want. I think your soul just wants to do what you want. Now this could be related to a career. It doesn't have to be, but Pentacles can often relate to money. So you could maybe want to either have your own place, or work on building your own money or building your own career, and just be able to do it on your own. Now the Hierophant energy as well can represent an institution. I mentioned traditions. So it could also mean not wanting to get tied down, because the Hierophant sometimes represents marriage. Now that doesn't mean that you maybe don't want to get married or will never get married, but what it could mean is that your soul, for maybe even in this lifetime, just really wants to be able to kind of go against the grain, do your own thing. So what I am feeling is that your soul might really want to escape and do some things on your own. So you may want that independence. So what I am seeing with the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, and with the Judgment card actually in reverse, is that your soul might want some level of independence in some area of your life. It doesn't maybe mean that you'll never get married or that you'll never start a family, because it all kind of depends on what areas in your life this is really going to be affecting, and that can also have to do with the North Node and what house it is in as well. Just keep that in mind. But for you guys, I do feel like as far as career goes, as far as making money, I feel like you kind of want to do some things on your own. Like you want to get out, and your soul, even though your soul still feels like it wants to be of service and be giving, there may be a part of you that wants to shift more into a feeling of just being like completely free and doing it on your own, and not having to constantly be connected to somebody else, and that you have to always like ask for permission or check with other people. you want to be able to just go and do something on your own. And this could again be having to do with a career. And this could be with having to create something or build something for yourself, because I am getting kind of like a Capricorn earth energy with Pentacles, of course. And then we have the Hierophant. And as I mentioned, the Hierophant is kind of, it can be about marriage. It can be about being stuck in some kind of institution. It may be about getting a higher education or feeling like you just want to like drop out of school. Like you may just feel as though what you're pursuing in school is just too, it's not right. Like you might be feeling that. And I feel as though that's because your soul just isn't feeling a future in that. It doesn't ignite your soul with the Three of Wands being in reverse alongside the Hierophant. So there could be something that, you know, maybe in the past you were very good at kind of following the rules. As I mentioned before, maybe following a religion, following a routine. You were really good at doing that in past lives or even in childhood. Maybe you just kind of did what you were told and followed expectations. It was comfortable, it was easy, it was safe. And it actually, I feel like it did pay off in a lot of positive ways, because of course, once you've mastered something in a past life, it's, you know, it's a talent of yours. It's something that comes very easily, and not everybody can say that those types of things come as easily to them. I feel as though you've mastered balance, and now you want a little chaos. That's what I feel like. Your soul wants to just try some new things and feel the freedom of not having to like check with anybody, and also having financial freedom to be able to do these things without, you know, without worrying about money. And I think what you pursue is going to relate to money and finances and bringing that in. But I do feel as though you're going to want to just kind of do that on your own and not rely on somebody else. Now, if this doesn't resonate with you, you might want to kind of sit with this energy. You might want to just check with yourself over the course of some time, because sometimes we are unaware of what our souls really want, because our south nodes on our past lives are so comfortable in what we already know that it may feel very uncomfortable to think about doing something that goes against the grain. So I'm not saying that it's definitely true, because if it definitely doesn't resonate, then it just doesn't resonate. But I will say, for this type of a reading, I've seen where people find out their north nodes or find out their soul purpose, but they just, it doesn't like make sense to them right away. So I would dive deep into that north node. And if you do want to find out your north node, I will also leave a link to that, looking up your own astrological chart, and you can find out exactly what your north node is. And if you know the time of your birth, you can also find out what house it is in, so you can specifically go into that. But really, with your soul purpose, as far as these cards go, this is all about kind of feeling the excitement and the risk of doing something that you get to decide to do all by yourself, and also for yourself. Because I feel like in this lifetime, it's okay to be a little selfish in this lifetime, and it may feel actually unfamiliar to you to just do something selfishly, but it's because your soul has been so giving in the past. And I do see that. Like, I feel as though too that you've brought a lot of justice and balance into people's lives. So in other words, you might have righted a lot of wrongs in your past. You might have been a lawyer in the past, or part of the legal system in the past. And you brought a very healing energy to that. Now, I also feel though that, again, you might be going through a very strong a very strong awakening, where you're feeling like you just need to get away. And I see that with the Judgment card in reverse, because you're just needing a feeling of freedom, like you're just needing to break away. Now, if it is a matter of like quitting a job, or like just dropping out of school or something like that, you know, this reading isn't saying like that's definitely the best choice to just cut ties and completely change course. You don't have to necessarily jump, you know, from one path to another. You can just start to open yourself up to the idea that what if it really is okay for you to be your true independent self, or to be on your own and to experience that, versus the idea that like you maybe aren't allowed to do that for yourself because you feel like maybe it's wrong, or maybe it's not who you are. Because sometimes our soul's purpose and what our soul actually wants to be in this lifetime and to experience can feel like totally opposite of what we came in here as. But again, that's because your south node is usually something that is opposite, or that is well, that is opposite because it's in the south and you're moving towards the north. So it can be completely opposite, but it's gonna feel right to you. So when you start to live in your true authentic self and on your soul's path, it's going to feel way, way more authentic to you. And I think too, is you're going to realize that it's really what you wanted all along, but you felt like you were not deserving of it. So this reading is meant to really give you permission to follow that soul path, to follow that soul's energy, and to really believe that it's for it's yours for the taking in this lifetime. So let's keep going, because the next cards are really going to tell us how you can work through this energy and what you can do to kind of move into your South Node. Now you have the Seven of Swords again, which is telling me that once again, you are going to want to kind of move away from anything that just is no longer serving you. It's kind of like you just want to get away and do this on your own. We have the King of Cups. We also have the Eight of Cups. And we have the Empress. Ooh, another kind of like Queen of Pentacles, nurturing Mother Nature energy here. There is somebody in your life, there's a King of Cups in your life who I feel like you are still either healing from a past romantic relationship or maybe a current relationship that you are wanting to move away from. I mentioned marriage. Maybe this is somebody who is a long-term relationship who you feel like that partnership is just no longer resonating with you and you're wanting to get away from it. I do feel like this is a healing time as well, okay? This is not simply just like you need to break up and leave everything in your life behind. If that's not something that resonates with you, then the tarot cards would not tell you to do that. And so this is really more about what areas of your life need to heal. And that also, I feel, is why the blue flame is coming in, because this is a very healing group where there's active healing that is needed with the King of Cups and the Eight of Cups. I do feel that there's a getting away energy though, okay? I still feel that that is a key part of this, is this desire to get away. Now, maybe this means, and to be your own Empress energy, which is very self-sufficient and feeling, because I feel like you're confident in yourself and you could be alone if you wanted to. It's almost like you are very happy alone and content, like you feel completely whole on your own. If you were to kind of like just sit and read a book by yourself, or if you're like enjoying your alone time, upkeeping your house, I almost also too feel that you draw in abundance naturally to yourself. So this could be in like the second house where you are very connected to money or home. So you could be, this type of energy is where your soul is really wanting to move to. I feel like this is luxury as well. And I feel as though this is a feeling of being on your own and grounding yourself. So you might be moving towards a more earth type energy, just because we're seeing that with the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. But I feel as though for some of you too, just because this is a general reading, I feel as though for some of you too, this is also a fire energy, because this is an escape. You want to escape and do this on your own. And I feel like you are naturally drawing in energies of abundance, because it's like you're whole within yourself and you don't actually need a relationship, but you can have one if you want, but you're going to want a relationship or partnership where you don't feel so tied down. I think that this is going to reignite your excitement about the future, to do some things on your own too, okay? So this could be like just planning a trip, planning some kind of adventure for yourself, planning some kind of project that you get to have complete control over, because it's important that you have control over whatever it is that you're pursuing. And I do feel like maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, maybe you want to have your own business, or maybe you want to be in a higher position and dedicate more time to like managerial things. Although I do feel like that also, like having a typical 9-to-5 job might be very mundane to you, because I think you've kind of been used to that already. Again, kind of following the norm and traditional way of life is getting annoying to you maybe, or just like you just feel so bored by it. And it's because you really want to do some things for yourself. Like you want to do that. And I think that this is a time to just do something selfish for yourself, you know. Of course, it doesn't mean like you lose your south node energy completely. So the part of you that is very good at giving and the part of you that is very good at nurturing others is going to remain that way. But you might have overdone it if it is something from your south node and from your past lives. You may have overdone it, and now your soul came here to shift away from always being that person and move more into, and maybe even fully embrace this kind of like adventure and go it alone attitude, which your soul just might be longing to do that, like to be the lone wolf. That's really what the Seven of Swords is saying here. And even in this version of the Seven of Swords, it is showing a wolf, because it is kind of the lone wolf card, where it's like you want to be on your own, do your own thing, and embracing that and seeing where that takes you, seeing where just trusting in yourself really, really takes you fully, without the kind of like having to run things by other people all the time. Now, this is an extreme, kind of how I'm seeing it, but really it's not so much that everything else gets thrown away, as you guys know. I mean, I don't think you guys would take it to that level anyway. This is an intelligent group, but I think that it is important to kind of see it as embracing the side of you that wants to do that, and allowing him or her or them to do that in this lifetime, and not feel like you are destined to always be just serving other people or being part of the system, and never being able to break free of that and kind of do something creative and powerful on your own with the Empress. Now, I mentioned this is a healer group and that you are capable of healing others. I think that is very true still. I think the awakening is almost allowing you to still serve that soul mission of healing, but at a level that is totally beyond just serving others, if that makes sense. Like, you are awakening to a higher level of awareness. And we see that too with the Judgment card, because through this freedom of your soul and an even deeper understanding and knowing of what your soul really wants, like through all of that, you are healing and grounding healing energies in that way. So this is kind of like an independent shift towards a even deeper level of spiritual alignment, really. So let's pull one of these oracle cards, and we're just going to get a final message of anything I missed as far as what is needed to really walk your soul's path in this lifetime. Okay, and we have higher ground, which is kind of what I was just saying. I hope that made sense. This is a good confirmation for you guys. Higher ground to me is saying that you are gaining a vantage point, and this is really taking the Judgment card, which has shown up upside down, and turning it right side up for this higher and even higher level of awareness, more so than just how to keep everybody happy and to make everything fair and to try to right wrongs and find justice in things. You're going to an even higher level. And I think because there's this lone wolf drive for you to take the reins and do your own thing, because of that energy that you're shifting into right now, like very, very quickly, you're going places, okay? Not just spiritually with higher ground, but I feel like you're going places with your abundance, with your career, with how you present yourself even, because I feel like you have all this knowledge and confidence to share. I think that you're going to be able to pursue that even more. I feel what's interesting too is I feel like part of the healing process is to leave behind these heavier emotions. I feel like I'm getting the sense that like you're shifting away from any heavy water energy actually, and moving more towards this like confidence direction, not this kind of like moon wishy-washy energy, I guess is kind of how I'm thinking. It's like that kind of mystical, like darkness, shadowy energy. I feel like you're just not in that. Like that's not the zone your soul wants to be in. Your soul is like done with all that and is kind of over that as well, and is wanting to just be like, I know I can do this. I am confident. I can do this on my own. I'm tired of asking, either tired of asking for help or whatever it is, you know, tired of asking for an opinion or whatever, when you know like you can do this. That's what your soul is like saying to you, and you may be feeling this pull very, very strongly right now. let's pull one more card. But I do want to say on that note too, is that it's not that you have to do everything by yourself, because no one can really, you know, do everything by themselves. It's more so this permission, again, to do it on your own when that's what you want to do. Okay, so this is going to be something you want to do. It's not going to be like you're all on your own and no one's going to help you. Like, that's not it at all. This is kind of the feeling of like, I just want to do it and I don't care. Like, you know, my soul just wants this and I don't care if nobody wants to come with me. I just want to do it. Okay, so then we have keep your dreams alive. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. I think that, again, kind of speaks for itself, but also confirms what we're saying here, which is that your dreams have maybe even been kind of trapped or stuck because you've gotten caught up in a routine of trying to keep everything in balance and everybody in check, and with Justice and the Hierophant. And there's almost this like rush towards a feeling of more independence with the Seven of Swords, maybe breaking free from the traditional way of living, because it's going to ignite your excitement about the future again. Because the future is not exciting for this group. The future isn't very exciting if it's the same thing every day. And that's what I'm getting, is what your soul really wants, is it wants to do something different and try other things and be maybe in a different wavelength of energy, because I am seeing the Eight of Cups is all about moving away, going to higher ground and leaving behind that kind of like watery, dark emotional energy, and just be like, bam, I'm the Empress. I'm here. This is me. I'm confident in myself. I don't have to prove it because I know within myself, like, I'm going to do it. And then just going for it and doing it. I don't even see, because sometimes Seven of Swords can be like a cautionary thing, like, don't do this by yourself, like you need help. But in this reading, I am just seeing so much like Seven of Swords is this like, just listen to your soul. If it wants to just, you know, do its own thing, then that's what it is wanting to do. And you can do that in the most fair way, because I know this group is fair, and you would never do something to hurt somebody else or to create, you know, conflict purposefully. It's almost like giving your soul the permission to do something a little more selfish than you're used to, because of course, again, we have Judgment in reverse. This is you kind of wanting to not disrupt the norm, okay? Because it feels comfortable, or just because like that's where your soul was, and now your soul wants to pursue something very rapidly too. And I feel like this may come for you depending on where you're at in your soul's journey, in your life experience. It will happen so spontaneous that it almost feels like you didn't even realize you had done it, but it's just like happening all of a sudden, and you're super excited about it, and you're just kind of getting swept away with the excitement of this. So definitely kind of on a final note, I will say moving into your soul's purpose is going to be something that you might want to just start internally. If you're not sure where to start at all, start opening yourself up to the idea, or even just start accepting and welcoming in the part of yourself that says or feels like they just want to do something on their own, or they just want to be selfish. Start listening to that part of yourself instead of telling it, we can't, don't say that, we shouldn't do that, that's not good. You know, just explore it a little more and let it kind of tell you a little bit more what it is looking for in this lifetime, and be a little more open to just having a chat with that side of yourself, because that side of yourself is probably your true soul's purpose and what feels great to you. But it almost feels like a little naughty, because you're like, oh no, I shouldn't want that, but I really do, kind of a thing. So okay, I just have to restart my camera, but I was just saying, you can always think of shifting your energy towards your soul's purpose in that way. Okay, so let's see, we have actually, this one also wanted to come out for you guys. So let's go with these two witch cards, because I did want to tap into some of your magical powers. We talked about healing a lot, and I feel like that may be something that you do very naturally. So, and that also might be why a lot of people are drawn to you, because you really balance out other people's energies and kind of even it out. And if somebody's kind of off kilter when they're around you, they feel more balanced and they feel better. So what we have here for you is Elemental Witch with Temperance. Wow, Temperance is such a great harmonizing energy. We have Alchemy and Manipulation. And then we also have Skeptical Witch with questions, hesitations, and doubts. So I feel as though this group is kind of torn between the side of you that wants to keep everything balanced and then the side of you that feels like there's something you want to break free from. And that might even be the kind of the ordinary. But what I am seeing with Elemental Witch is that you actually have the power, as I said before, to balance people out, to harmonize situations that are disharmony. So again, you may have strong Libra energy in your past that is really great at doing this balancing act. Also with the Hierophant, you know, this is energy of somebody who can ground spiritual energy and turn it into something that is understandable and tangible. So this could be a spiritual practice, as I mentioned, or following a religion that puts the spiritual energy or the feminine energy into the divine masculine energy and allows it to become a practice. So because you have this alchemy ability, you can take something and turn it into gold is really what I'm feeling with this whole Elemental Witch. So I would say don't doubt yourself, because if you are skeptical in doubting yourself, I feel like your soul really wants to step into its power of transformation, of transforming and making your dreams a reality, okay? And I do see that that is where your soul is wanting to go, and the more you embrace it, the more it's actually going to just kind of welcome in what you want, because the more you embrace what your soul really wants within, it's not just a matter of doing things spontaneously. Really, once you really fully align with your North Node, or just with your soul's purpose, what you're going to find in your life is that things start working for you and things start happening easier, because you're not fighting what the energy that what you're being pulled towards. You're not fighting that current. You're actually going with the flow of what your soul wants. So even if you think like, well, what's going to be a huge difference to my life if I just kind of start doing something independently, like how is that really going to change anything? The point is that as soon as you start embracing your soul's purpose, everything around you starts working for you. Things start opening up to allow you to move even deeper and more powerfully into your soul's purpose, and you feel so much more alive, so much more aligned, so much happier. You feel like a weight is lifted off of you. So I will say with the Empress, this is confirmation of that. So I do feel like it has to do with the home and with your career life, with money. I feel like it could have to do in that area of your life is where you want to pursue this as well, along with the Queen of Pentacles. But I feel like it is with the Seven of Swords, this quick energy. So you may be moving into more of an air sign, of a focus of determination and focus. And I think as you start to shift into that and really embrace it, I feel like your magic of transformation and alchemy, it's just going to continue to build and build and build on itself. And your manifestations are actually going to come to you that much easier, okay? Because it's hard if you're trying to manifest something and it's against your soul's purpose. It's just going to make it even harder to manifest it. Or if you're trying to manifest something and it is in alignment with your soul's purpose, but you're not allowing yourself to fully step into that energy because you're unsure or afraid or skeptical of if you're actually deserving of it, or if it's actually for you, or if you're actually that person, then that can also create a blockage for you in actually manifesting those things. So group one, I really truly hope these messages were helpful to you. Comment down below, let me know which card was your favorite. This was such a fun reading. I hope it was helpful, and I hope that some of these messages will help you to step into your soul's purpose that much more. But that's going to do it for this reading. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate that, and it helps my channel out. And if you are enjoying my readings, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and join our family of celestial beings. I hope to see you back again soon, but bye for now. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 2. I have your pile right here with the Chrysocolla stone on it. So I'm going to set this stone aside so we can dive into your reading. We're going to start with this oracle card first. And for you guys, we have Forge, Don't Follow, Pave a New Path, Be the Leader You Wish You Had. Wow, so this group is really showing leadership qualities. It feels as though your soul is really wanting to teach others or show others the way. You may feel as though you have knowledge or you have an understanding or a bigger picture and an ability to attract other people's attention, or that's kind of what you are desiring, is to be out in the spotlight. If you're not there yet, you may want to be out in the spotlight, sharing your knowledge, sharing your experiences, and then being able to help them and guide others towards what they are needing in their lives or maybe in their careers. Now, I also see with leadership, you may enjoy kind of being the center of attention secretly, maybe, because it doesn't necessarily mean that right now you're doing this leadership type thing. And it might even feel like it's far off for you, because I know for me, I very long ago knew that my soul wanted to teach spirituality and to be a part of the spiritual community in some kind of way. And it wasn't until many years later that I actually was able to find a way to pursue that. But my soul always really truly wanted that. And I understand now in hindsight that time was for me to really grow as a spiritual person, to grow on my own personal journey, and to really fully understand and work through past life energy and also kind of my South Node energy in general. So this leadership energy is telling you that your soul actually really does want to be a leader in some area. And you may secretly, or, maybe you are very expressive about this, but you may enjoy being in front of people. And also that feeling of others listening to you and respecting what you have to say. You may be wanting that from your life. Because I feel like with this group, you may have found yourself a lot of the times not center stage in either past lives or as a child. You may have felt like you've constantly had to kind of be either the person behind the scenes or somebody who was always not getting the attention. Maybe you had to compete with a sibling, or you felt like you just didn't want to compete with a sibling and you're just kind of accepting that you aren't the loudest or the squeaky wheel per se. But you're still wanting that respect. You're still wanting to show that you have this leadership quality about you and prove to others that you have something to share and have something to show and guide others the way with. So again, if that doesn't resonate with childhood memories or childhood energy, this could also be a past life situation where you were having to follow and having to kind of be in the background, but you didn't want to be, or now you're kind of tired and over that type of life experience. And in this experience, you really, really want to forge your own path. Now, you may not particularly need people to follow you on this path per se, but you just have a natural leadership energy in this lifetime that your soul is longing to embody. So let's keep going, because we are going to take a look at your South Node energy and kind of what your past was like. We have the Hanged Man. We have Six of Pentacles. We have the Emperor. And we also have the Four of Swords. This is showing me a lot of inward soul searching and guidance. And now this is going to be what your soul has become comfortable in. It could be something that your soul has lived throughout a past life or other past lives in general. It's something that you're comfortable with. And I see that there is with the Four of Swords, being within yourself, taking a lot of time to rest, taking a lot of time to build on a strong foundation. And to me, with the Emperor, it's almost as though you've been building your inner knowledge. You've been building on this soul wisdom. I do feel like this is a group that is a old soul in that you have really played it safe, but you have such a great foundation of knowledge and life experience to bring into this lifetime that will allow you to be a very good leader. But I do see with this is you were having to kind of play it safe, in that I feel when it came to career or came to money, you were maybe needing charity or needing help from others. I also feel like this is an altruistic group as well. So I feel like you would, or you do currently enjoy giving to others. So again, you could still be in this energy because your soul has not fully shifted into its full soul path and desires in this lifetime. So you may still be in a place, and I feel like you did come into this lifetime very grounded in your inner self. Very grounded. You may have felt as though when you came into this world that you were already kind of spiritually awakened to an extent, or that you were already very aware of your inner self with the Hanged Man. I do feel like you bring to this world, and that you stepped into this world with a higher perspective that makes it almost like other people may not even know how aware you are, because you keep it within yourself. And you're not boasting about it, and you're not bragging about any of this. You just are very strong and solid in your inner knowing of yourself. And also in kind of maintaining that. And being able to know when to go within and create that strong foundation. Because we have the Four of Swords as well. So I feel like this inner world and this inner realm is very familiar to you, and you feel confident in that aspect of things. I do feel with this group that you also have managed or mastered, I feel like you've mastered the ability to welcome in money. You are able to do that. And you kind of enjoy giving to others and then receiving from others. So you may receive or give, or have a love language of giving and receiving gifts. That may be your thing. But I feel as though it's very modest. Everything is very modest in this sense. You're very modest in your knowledge and what you know. You're very modest in how aware you are within yourself and how much work you've done in yourself. These are all things that you have been very modest and not like showy or boastful about, which is a very nice quality to have. And I think that's very comfortable for you as far as you're familiar with it. But your soul came here to be more, even more than that, okay? Because this is all very good and actually very reliable. As a person, you're very reliable, you're very giving, you want to give to your friends and family. They are able to kind of lean on you and trust you with this, as far as for you to be there for them or to help them out when they need it. So this is you as a person are like a pillar of strength, okay? That's what I feel like you are currently. And also you may be moving into your soul's purpose and your North Node. So let's take a look at that aspect of this reading. Okay, I just had to change my battery before I could pull these cards, but let's dive on in. We have Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Cups in reverse, we have the Three of Swords, and we have Justice in reverse. So there's a really strong longing for your soul to get started on this new path. Your North Node really, really wants to, I feel, find a balance between money and emotional joy and emotional happiness as well. I feel as though that when you try to help other people, I feel like you might feel as though they don't understand you with the Three of Swords. I feel like they don't understand you, or you get hurt sometimes by other people because you don't feel like they see you fully. I feel like you've been having to hide yourself in a lot of ways in the past. And maybe you're already moved out of this energy, because really what your soul does want in this lifetime is to find a balance, as I said, because I feel like you have a lot of areas, maybe even in your relationships, where you want to start new. I feel as though it may not be that you're starting a new romantic relationship or anything like that, but there's almost like there's a new beginning you really want, and you're out of balance because you're holding yourself back from your true potential. There's a lot of more money. I feel like there's a lot of greater strides that you could be taking in your career. I feel like there's a lot more things that can be coming in through your love life as well. Like I feel like you can find the right person even more. So if you are really drawn, because I do feel like this leadership energy for many of you can be related to yourself in a romantic partnership and in a energy of connecting with other people specifically. I feel like your heart wants a deeper connection with the people around you, and this is where this leadership energy is really going to come from, because you're going to feel more connected to those people who are respecting you and looking up to you. I also feel, what I'm seeing is, I see you kind of looking at the world and seeing a lot of injustice in the world, and it saddens you at a deep level. I feel like you are the type of person who can really empathize with where other people are at in their lives and want to be able to help the world and be a part of the solution in a way that is very in the forefront, even because you almost may feel as though you have more to offer, and your heart is like breaking because you feel like you are not out there doing something about it. And this can be at many different levels and many different angles. It could be wanting to make a change in a very specific area of your community or of your workplace, or even just in your family's lives. Be the difference and be the change to help them to create that family. But I feel like for you, this, you're going to want to be, and it says too, is be the leader you wish you had. It says pave a new path. And this is why the Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, is because you're being called to pave a new path, to do things authentically to you. And this can be in a sense of being a leader, being a parent that you wish you had, being the boss that you wish you had, being any type of mentor that you wish you had. So maybe you want to help other children. Maybe you want to lead them towards a brighter future, but you're wanting to, I feel like you're wanting to right the injustices. This could also be wanting to be a lawyer. Now, I do want to mention, I mentioned it in the other group, that this doesn't necessarily have to be what career you should pursue, because you can pursue so many careers with your soul purpose, okay? This soul purpose can really apply to a lot of different things, but it's really about allowing the part of yourself that is saying, I want to be a leader, and not discarding it or saying like, we can't do that, I have no idea how I'm going to do that, and instead opening up to it and just being open to the possibilities of where that could take you. Because as I was saying in my previous reading as well, I just want to make sure everybody gets this message, is that as we're talking about kind of North Node, South Node in your astrological chart, we're talking about kind of what your soul came here and is comfortable in, what it has learned, and the foundation that you've created in that area, and where it wants to go and what it wants to experience in this lifetime. So as soon as you start to allow yourself to move into that soul path and soul purpose, everything around you starts to change. People come into place to help you towards that soul purpose. You find things opening up for you. You find manifestations coming through for you so easily, because you're not denying yourself what your soul really, really wants. So your soul is looking for a fresh start, a new path, paving a new path, and in a way that is going to be emotionally fulfilling, but also be physically fulfilling as well. So it would need to be something that maybe is something that you can create tangibly, and being a leader in that self. So maybe you do want to be a parent who then teaches other parents how to parent even better in a certain area, or working with certain types of children, helping them in an even more powerful way. Maybe it's not being a parent, maybe it is a specific career you're wanting to pursue that's going to be healing for others, in that you're showing them a better way and making and like righting the wrongs of the world and the injustices in the world. Because I see with the Three of Swords that many of you guys feel a dis-ease within yourself, feel as though you're in conflict with yourself about wanting to step out and do more or be more, but feeling like you're unable to do that, okay? And that's not everybody's soul purpose either. Some people's soul purpose is to want to go and be more reclusive, want to go within, want to kind of hide from the world and really go and delve into their inner mystical aspect. But for you guys, you're coming into this world really being able to do that, because we see that with the Hanged Man. This is a spiritual card. This is really seeing things from another angle, from a higher place, and being on that spiritual journey. And the Emperor is really grounding that in this world and being able to take actions or create a very strong foundation within yourself. And as I said, you are a pillar, you are a rock for other people. And this gives you a sense of purpose, but you before used it to more so kind of be within yourself. And now you're wanting to really lead others towards their own pillar of strength within themselves, okay? So let's keep going. These cards are going to tell you actually how you can work through this, how you can move more towards your soul path, what is really needed. So we have the Ace of Swords is in reverse, Six of Cups is in reverse, 6 is coming up again. So again, this may be your 6th house that your North Node is in, possibly. Also have the 10 of Wands in reverse and the 4 of Coins. Okay, so there's a lot of giving that you are currently doing for certain people in your life. And I feel like you might be a little all over the place with that. In other words, you are maybe taking on a lot of different things with people, taking on a lot of different responsibilities. But for you, the thing that's going to get your drive kind of together is really honing in on one focus, because you might be wanting to help people in so many different ways that your soul is getting a little overwhelmed in how to move forward with this. And I feel as though the things that you are doing, again, is very kind to the kind of the people around you, but it's not in your leadership energy. It's not fully in that energy for many of you. Some of you maybe are like, yep, no, I'm in my leadership energy now. This is confirmation that this is my soul's path. Awesome. Like, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. But for those of you who are kind of struggling as to allowing yourself to step into this leadership energy, is I'm seeing this clear focus. Now you have like 3 aces right now. So I think you're really needing kind of a reset mode of taking a step back, even with the Hanged Man, taking a step back, really gathering yourself together and finding the focus, or even asking for what this focus is. What is the thing that you are best at, that is your hero story, that is your way of overcoming something, and what is that, and create a focus of that. Because what I almost feel is that you want to help so many people, or you want to kind of lead so many people, that you may find you are kind of torn in all different directions and just trying to kind of like do everything and be everything for everyone. Or you might be kind of at that place in your own mind of like, I want to be everything for everyone. And because of that, you might feel like you're overwhelmed, and you end up just kind of staying within your comfort zone, because there is an aspect of this where you're needing to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And we're going to pick some more oracle cards. As I mentioned, we'll pick a couple oracle cards to give you more guidance, and also we'll pick some of the witch cards, which becomes her, for some kind of how your magic is working and what's going to help you along the way with your own personal magic. So what I am seeing with the 4 of Coins and the Ace of Swords is a lack of clear focus on what type of person you want to help and what your real way of helping people is, or way of leading people is. And you can also do this by thinking about, what do people go to you for? Okay, what do people go and ask you for help with? Who are you the go-to person for? So for me, it's my tarot cards. People always come to me for some spiritual guidance, for reading, friends, family. You know, that's like always been my thing, and I really enjoy doing that. And also for like kind of interpreting these things. So you're gonna find what that is. That is what you're gonna step onto your path searching for, is that clear focus, because we're seeing the 3 of Swords and we're seeing that what is needed is the Ace of Swords. So you're feeling maybe even torn between following your desire to take up the sword. I mean, when I think of the Ace of Swords and taking up the sword and finding your focus and being communicating it clearly to the universe, communicating it to yourself, and focusing on it with clarity within your mind. These are all the things that are really going to be needed in order for you to step out of your comfort zone, because you'll know then what the right next step is once you start to really speak your truth and become fully clear on who you are as far as what your soul purpose really wants. Because I think, as I said, like, this is all comfortable to you, your inner self, and being in your inner world and understanding your inner world, and even your spiritual world, or even your ability to be giving and to be altruistic. and to know when to rest and to know when to be introspective. I feel as though that's very grounded for you and you're very comfortable in that. We see that also with the Four of Coins. So what's really going to be the challenge in stepping onto your soul path is accepting that you are feeling an inner conflict about wanting to participate in an aspect of life as a leader energy, okay? It says, remember, it says forge, don't follow. You don't want to follow, you don't want to follow the status quo. You are desiring something new. You're desiring to create your own path. So let's keep going. We're going to pull some oracle cards to see if I missed any messages. This is awesome. I really hope these are helpful to you. Be sure by the end of this reading to comment down below. Let me know what is your favorite card throughout this reading. I would love to know. Or if you just want to tell me how this resonated with you, or if you found it helpful, I would love to know and chat with you in the comments down below. We have celebrate differences. Wow, okay. So to me, and we're going to pull one more actually, but I really love that. There's also a 3 on this, which is really directing me towards the 3 of Swords. Now, I feel as though you are having a difficult time balancing out different aspects maybe of your personality and also maybe other people, because I feel as though you are bringing people together in there may be something different about you as well that you can share and give a new perspective on so that other people can be more accepting of people's differences. So that could be something that you are being guided to do, because I talked about injustices in this world that upset you and that really make you feel like you want to help right them and make things fair. And I feel like this is really could be relating to allowing people to celebrate these differences versus fighting over them or getting angry about them. You may be able to lead people towards an energy of differences are okay. Now, the other messages that I also felt with this is within yourself, you might feel torn. As I said before, you're torn between, with the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Wands, you're torn between your past self and how you came into this world and what your comfortable or your South Node is. And I did mention, I will link down below how to look up your astrological chart. So if you have your birth time, you can find out what house your North and South Node is. But if you don't have your birth time, you can still find out what signs your North and your South Node are in. So you could do that if you would like to learn more about that and see how that even relates to this reading. But I feel as though your South Node and your North Node are opposite. So having to kind of celebrate the different aspects of yourself, the parts of yourself that wants to maybe remain within and is afraid to step out into that leadership position, but then also the part of yourself that really, really wants to make a difference and feels that call. And I feel like this calling is coming towards you. Now, because of the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Cups, I feel like there's been a lot of heavy growth from your childhood. I feel like you may feel like your childhood or your past is maybe even holding you back from stepping out of your comfort zone. So that's another aspect of this reading that I think is worth mentioning, is to work on overcoming those fears and finding the clear direction that is going to make you happy and make your soul feel alive. And this is what this is all about. Is this, your soul's purpose shouldn't make you feel miserable. It should actually excite you and feel right to you. Okay, but I also will say that sometimes when we first hear what our soul came here to do, whether you look it up or whether you're kind of going off the energy of this reading, it might feel either scary or you might feel a little bit of like apprehension about it, and that may be confused with it not resonating. So I definitely would suggest like taking some time before you disregard your soul purpose or what your soul purpose could be or what your North Node is. Before you disregard it completely, I would say and I feel like this group already is pretty good at that, but like do take some time and sit with how it applies to you or how it may be what your soul is wanting, and just make sure that it does or does not resonate with you. Okay, we have be gentle with yourself. yeah, there's definitely with the Four of Coins, honestly, like a acknowledgement that this isn't going to be something that is easy for you to just kind of jump into. But as I said before, you know, I didn't really know how I was going to become who I am today, you know, and be starting pursuing this and be doing these readings for you guys online and on in front of a camera, and to be doing live readings and doing consultations over the phone. Like, I didn't know I was going to be able to do that at any time. I just thought I was always going to do it for friends and family. But I knew my soul's purpose. I knew my soul really wanted to find a way to use what I had learned on my spiritual journey to help other people. And so it started to become clear for me the more that I embraced that part of myself. And so that's what I feel like Be Gentle with Yourself is. It's like, it's not saying that you have to have everything figured out. It's saying start to speak your truth, start to focus on what you would like to see in your life. And that, if that is aligned with your soul, then you are going to find that things open up for you, that the universe kind of starts to work in your favor because you're in the flow towards your North Node of what you came here to do. All right, let's finish up with these witch cards. Some final messages. All right, what does group 2 need to know about their soul purpose and their magic? Okay, and you guys also got 2 cards. You have a Wicked Witch with greed, cruelty, abuse of power, and you have Sigil Witch, weaving numbers and symbols. Okay. I definitely am getting the sense that your magic is meant to fight this greed and abuse of power. Now, I strongly felt that you were looking out into the world and seeing the injustices that were happening. This could be for groups of people. This could be for gender, you know, certain gender roles or things like that. This could be in so many different things, but what I'm seeing is that you're meant to use your power to end this corruption that is happening, that you see, those injustices that you are seeing that are hurting your heart and that you know are wrong. You're wanting to pave a path for others to celebrate their differences, to feel more happy in themselves, to feel more healed within themselves. So that's really what came across with that card, because that's a really strong card. And your energy, there's so much potential here for you to help people heal that part of yourself, for you to connect people, to bring them together, to forge your own path that people look up to and want to follow you because they say, wow, this person just makes me feel so good about myself and makes me want to connect with others in a positive way. So that message is for you guys. That I feel very strongly like that is such a strong message that you are here to do this. And I feel like you're going to be very drawn to doing this in one specific area. Okay, and then we also have Sigil Witch, weaving numbers and symbols. I feel with your magic that you're able to maybe even read things like tarot cards or numerology as well, but you're able to see the symbols and things. And I talked too about kind of grounding higher energy and also kind of being a very strong pillar. I feel as though you see things, you see messages and symbols in your life and in other people that other people do not see because they're not as aware of as you are of these things. So you may see patterns in other people. You may see repeating numbers yourself as well. I think those repeating numbers are going to help to guide you onto your soul's path, that you might even start to see them before even seeing this reading. But those symbols, those numbers are going to help you kind of figure out your path as well. I also feel as though you're able to weave people together, to connect them, as I said before, to create cohesion. I also feel too that you're able to also, for many of you, you may be able to kind of punch numbers or kind of see percentages and bring that kind of knowledge and information in order to prove a point as well. So you might find that you use those types of things to create strong arguments for things, to, you know, to kind of really back up your arguments or your points. You actually are able to take that knowledge and that wisdom and show how you're able to, like, to prove a point really well, because you can almost like weave together this information and see it in a way that other people maybe didn't. So you just, like, you take it to the next level of understanding. Now, this could be specifically within mathematics or finances or something like that, but it could also be in symbolism as well. You know, when I'm reading the tarot cards and I look at the numbers and I look at the symbols on them, that is also another way that this could come through as a talent of yours and as a magic of yours to share with the world. So wow, you guys have a lot of great things to offer other people. You are going to be a really strong, influential person in this lifetime. And that can appear in many different ways, in many different careers. And it could be in your family life where you are creating a way of parenting your children that is like your own way, that is unlike anything else, that is bringing something really positive to your family as well. So it can appear in so many different ways. But as soon as you start embracing your soul's path and really allowing the part of yourself that is saying, I actually want this, and not kind of discrediting it or being like, no, like it's too much, we'll never be able to do that. Just start opening yourself up, just start speaking as though that is your focus and that is what you're working. Okay, just had to restart my camera, but I just wanted to finish up with saying, start putting that focus into action, or even just start writing this focus down, thinking about it, opening yourself up to it. And I think that you're going to find the answers are going to come through for you. That's going to do for this reading. Please don't forget to comment down below and let me know which card resonated with you, or which deck, or which aspect of this reading. I would just love to have a chat with you about it in the comments below. And if you have not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our family of celestial beings, especially if this reading resonated with you, because I have a lot of other pick a card readings up ahead. I hope to see you back again soon, but bye for now. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 3. I have your pile right here with the Selenite stone. So I'm going to place your stone aside, but not too far away, so that we can dive into your reading. And we're going to start with this oracle card. So the first oracle card says, I'm sorry, defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. Okay, so your soul is really wanting to heal in this lifetime. I do feel as though your soul has been on a very difficult journey. This could be kind of Scorpio, South Node energy, or it could kind of appear different ways in your chart, to be honest. But really, for this general reading, I want to kind of go into the energy and how this can appear for you. I feel as though your soul has really overcome a lot of intense experiences. This could be in a past life, but this could also be in your childhood. You may have experienced death. You may have experienced addiction in some way, shape, or form. You may have experienced some of these really tough moments, maybe just depression and strong anxiety. You may have come into this world with some of these things that were very difficult and challenging. This is because your soul has really gone through a lot of inner searching, inner soul searching. I feel as though too that you have a connection to either the paranormal or to shadow work, to darkness. You're familiar with the darkness, really. Okay, it doesn't frighten you because you've been through the worst, you've been through it, you've overcome it, you have this inner strength. You might even take risks sometimes. You might even find yourself kind of getting into situations that you maybe shouldn't have gotten into, but you couldn't help yourself. You were just like going for it and taking different risks in your life. And it could also be that other people were toxic in your lifetime. So it could be that you came into a family with a lot of toxic baggage that affected you. You took on some of that karma as well, and your soul's working through that, or that this has kind of been a past life experience for you. So in this life, this is already, I'm feeling that this soul that you have come into group 3, your souls, you have come into this life to really heal and to experience some stability. Okay, that's the final message I'm getting, is there's a desire to just experience and embrace some stability. And even if that has not been the case for the early part of your life, you are here at this reading, so you're probably shifting out of that energy because you're here. Your soul knows that it wants something more out of this life experience, and it's kind of tired. And it even is almost your soul saying, I'm sorry, because you've been going through this and having to kind of deal with this energy for so long. So what's really righting past wrongs in this sense is uprooting, as the card says, uprooting from the old way of thinking and the old expectations, and planting new roots and creating new foundation for your north node, for your soul path in this life. Okay, now I also want to say too, with the defenselessness, is that this is also, to me, the energy of childhood trauma, and forgiving that trauma, forgiving that circumstance, and allowing yourself to know that this was not your fault, that this is also not your identity. It's not something that you have to live by and continue to live by, that you actually came into this life, you are deserving, you have permission to live a life of either luxury, foundation, supportive, a family that is supportive, and even if you have to create your own family, okay? But you're coming here to experience that. So as soon as you allow yourself and give yourself permission to experience that in this lifetime, I feel as though you are going to actually start to see your manifestations coming true for you 100%. Okay. Sometimes when we have gone through, I can totally relate to this, is when we've gone through a lot of trauma or abuse in our childhood or in our younger lives in general, we feel as though that is who we are. So we're the person who is around toxic people, or we're the toxic person because that's what we've manifested into our lives. Therefore, like, we're part of this toxic pattern. And it may be hard to think of our lives as anything except this type of, constant shadow work and things like that. We may feel like we're stuck in that. But as soon as you start to kind of learn about the North and South Node, which I'll link below, a way that you can look up your personal chart, where I like to, usually the North and South Node is really all the way at the bottom, so you just have to scroll. But you can look that up below to really kind of hone in on your own personal soul's path as well. But I will say that for this group in general, you are allowing yourself in this lifetime. Your soul is wanting this. Your soul is giving you this permission in this lifetime to experience something loving, something warm, and something that is stable, that is nurturing. So let's keep going. We're going to see what your South Node is, that energy in the next tarot cards, where you're coming from, this past life energy, childhood energy. Then we're going to go into where your soul wants to go. And then finally, we're going to find out how to get there. And we'll finally finish this reading off with some oracle cards that I will pick for you guys specifically to give any final messages, and also see what your magic is all about. What is the magic that you bring in this lifetime and how you can work with it. So, all right, all of that. We have Two of Cups in reverse. We have Page of Wands in reverse. We have the High Priestess. And I was gonna, okay, this confirms as well for me. And then lastly, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So for this group, I see some heartbreak with the Two of Cups. I see some difficult, you may have even had difficult romantic relationships. Your parents' relationship in your early years may have been very tumultuous, and you may find that in relationships up until this point. Because remember, your soul does not want to only have this experience. Your soul is coming from this experience and shifting. But we have Page of Wands, we have Nine of Pentacles. What I will say too, though, because this is confirming a lot of what I was saying, the High Priestess is right side up, and she is the major arcana card in this. You are very connected to your divine feminine energy. We talked about kind of the shadow energy, which is kind of that moon psychic energy. So you do actually have, and I think I mentioned paranormal or shadows. I feel like you have a connection to the other side. Okay, you have a connection to the spirit realm. You may naturally be a psychic medium. I'm getting that kind of darkness because I think you can connect with death because of either past life experience or a connection to death in this life. I'm not sure how that plays out, and my deepest condolences if that has been the case, because I can see that this could have been a rough life for you in this childhood or past lives as well. I feel like you're bringing this energy in. But because of that, you actually do have a natural connection to maybe spirits or just to psychic connections. Maybe it could be spirit guides you're very connected to. It's almost like you have one foot in this world and one foot in kind of the next world. But I see that there is a need for you to ground this energy, because we have Nine of Pentacles, Page of Wands. To me, it's finding a passion and finding that grounding energy that is kind of missing. I feel like you're unable to kind of put down roots because you feel like you're constantly either jumping from a relationship to a relationship, or you're finding it hard to trust other people with the Two of Cups. So I feel like this type of energy, you wanted to experience maybe this tumultuous energy, you wanted to connect with the shadow side. As in the past, this is all kind of past energy. You wanted all this connection and you had that experience, but now you're feeling it as an extreme, and your soul in this life is wanting to move out of that and wanting to experience some stability in this life. And that's what you're embracing in this lifetime, okay? All right, so let's keep going. We're going to find out all about what your soul really, really, truly wants. We have the Hermit and Five of Pentacles, Strength card, and we have the Page of Wands. This time the Page of Wands is right side up, okay? There's so much strength here. The strength is coming up full force. We also have the Hermit and the Five of Pentacles, okay, in reverse. So I feel as though there is a desire here to be fully in your body and fully connecting with your human form and fully getting in touch with how your human body, like accepting that you're in a human form, okay? Because that might be hard for you guys to really feel grounded and to really accept that you're in a human form, because you maybe felt as though you were wanting to kind of get away from this life because it felt like it was not within your control, or because you felt as though there was no one you could trust and you weren't inspired by this life. Instead, you were actually more connected to the higher realms, okay? You may even find that your crown chakra is just like burst open and you're more in the clouds than you are kind of firmly rooted. And we are seeing that the growth here that is needed is, and with the Five of Pentacles too, is this like grounding in the earth and feeling a strong sense of like roots into the earth. You can do meditations on this where you maybe close your eyes and activate your root chakra. Also, I would also recommend listening to binaural beats as well. But the fact that, and it may be hard to believe also, but the fact that your soul came here with this goal in mind, it means that you have this is your birthright, okay? It is your birthright to plant seeds in this life to really firmly grow your ambitions. Because I almost feel like you aren't able to really start your life almost. Like it may feel like you haven't truly started your life because you're still trying to recover. Like you might feel like you're still in recovery mode with this I'm sorry energy. And you may feel like I have not started it yet because you cannot get inspired because you're afraid to fully step into this life. But as I said, it is your birthright, because this is your soul purpose. It is your birthright to stand firmly in this strength and to know that you have the strength to do this, to be confident in that, and to start planting the seeds of your ambition in order to grow and to create a firm life. Now, I also feel with the Five of Pentacles, this strong kind of aversion to money or aversion to greed and selfishness. And I think that there's a desire here to maybe not be selfish per se, although some people it's their right here on this earth to do their own thing. You know, that's what their soul is here to do, is to kind of go off and do their own thing. But I feel like it may not be that 100% for you guys. I feel as though in this lifetime, we have the Hermit, which is the masculine version of the High Priestess. So I feel like for you, it is embracing your masculine side in this lifetime, which is to plant seeds and grow your ambitions and ground yourself and to find the strength in yourself to not shy away from building in this lifetime, to really enjoy, as I said, to enjoy the stability that that brings, okay? Now, I do still see a very spiritual connection in this group as well, because I feel like you're going to take a lot of the connection that you have because your crown chakra is so open or your third eye is so open. You're going to take that energy, but use it with the masculine energy in this lifetime to, again, focus on your ambitions and be creative. I do feel a strong fiery energy in this group with the Page of Wands coming up twice as far as your North Node or your soul's purpose. I feel like you are inspired to build on something, but it feels like things will only fall apart if you start them. And I'm seeing that the reason for that is because you may see it as a risk already. Like you may see any type of commitment in this lifetime, the way you were entering into it, you may see things, and because of past experiences, as any commitment is just going to leave you falling away. But I see you shining a light, and I see that with the Hermit and the Page of Wands. I see you shining a light on something that really ignites your soul and will require you to commit to it and really to go for it, okay? And that creative energy is going to create more stability. I think it is really important to heal your relationship with money and with earthly things in general. You might feel like you don't want possessions, or that you worry about your possessions and losing your possessions or losing stability because of your past experiences. So what I'm feeling is getting a positive relationship with either money or with your masculine energy, and with grounding that in the physical. Masculine energy is going to be any type of doing, creating, building, pursuing, taking action. All of that stuff is the masculine energy, whereas the divine feminine is almost like very accepting and open, but not like the assertiveness, I guess. Not that divine feminine energy is awesome and great, and it needs to be balanced with masculine. There's also, of course, there's such a thing as too much masculine energy and feminine. But I almost feel as though the openness is coming from a place of not wanting to ground yourself. And masculine energy will really help you do that, in the sense that you will start to begin your life, like start it. And that's what I see with Page of Wands, is really planting that seed to begin to grow something that will bring you creative passion. And also this will apply in your relationships as well, because you might be choosing people subconsciously. You might even be choosing people who you don't see a future with, because you are afraid of taking that risk of starting to commit to this human body and this human form in this lifetime. So that's something that you are wanting to aspire to and to create in your life. And I see that starting with finding what you really love about physical form. Okay, this could mean doing something like a sport. It could mean maybe not a sport, but maybe a craft of some kind, maybe creating art. Okay, so creating something in the physical world as well, that, or working with your body, moving your body around, that is grounding you and creating something tangible that you can like hold on to and won't just fly away or float away from you. I think that is really your soul's desire too. I'm also getting another message that your soul is here as well to prove how strong it can be. So part of you is coming from a place of a lot of challenges, and this has almost given you a strength that is really unparalleled. That a lot of people do not have this type of strength that you have. And I said earlier, like, you face so much that it's like life can throw anything at you. I think with this strength card is you're wanting to do something that not only brings passion for you, but also that allows you to really show off your strengths, and everything that you have built from your past lives affects and works for you, and finding a way to tangibly use it to work for you in your soul's path in order to really show your strength. And it's okay if you want to impress people with your strength and with your growth. Like, I think that's totally within your right to do that. And maybe you're holding back from showing your strength, or maybe you're holding back from showing your true self because you don't want to end up losing somebody, or you don't want them to shy away from you. But anybody who is not okay with your true self, that's okay. And if they leave, if they are no longer interested, then that means you're going to welcome in the people who are completely 100% on board with your authentic self, loves you for you and all your authenticity and all of your experiences, respects that, and helps you to continue to live in that power. Because there's something that you're very talented at and skilled at that you may not pursue. Now, this doesn't have to be a career, and I have said in other readings, like, this doesn't necessarily mean that you need this career in order to walk your soul's path, because your soul isn't here to like be in an office per se, but some people may be in an office in order to have a certain experience. So it can show up in different ways for everybody, and in different careers and different types of careers. But for you guys, I see you lighting away with this grounding your masculine energy, and you want to be part of this world. You want to be part of something physical. You just want it to feel reliable, and you want it to feel stable, and you want it to amount to something. And I feel like you want to create something to be proud of in this life, to show off your strengths. And you deserve that. You deserve to get that praise and get those results for yourself. Okay. And through that, I feel like you will attract the people that are going to give you further confidence, but also be reliable and trustworthy. All right, let's keep going. We have 5 of Wands in reverse. Now, just to remind you guys, these are going to be anything that needs to be done in order to be able to maybe overcome blockages in stepping onto your soul's path. All right, we have 8 of Swords in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the 3 of Coins in reverse. So again, I'm seeing as though something is holding you back. And what I feel as though is holding you back is the fear of competing with others, because you may feel like, what do I have to offer that is different? But this is actually holding you back from stepping on your divine path, because you have very, very awesome strengths. It may be your intuition is freaking amazing, like off the charts intuition, okay? And you can work with that. You can listen to your intuition. I feel like your soul just wants you to like go for things listening to your intuition. I feel as though like these mental blockages too, like I feel as though you don't want to show off your skills either, or that there may be a fear of showing off these skills for fear of either ridicule. You may have found that in the past, things that you felt really passionate about, things that you were expressing yourself creatively with in the 9 of Pentacles, were kind of like shut down by the toxic people in your life, okay? It's saying here that emotional healing, which to me is the Hermit card as well, is like trusting in your soul's path, like trusting in your inner soul's guidance, which is this emotional energy as well. Like this is intuitive energy and psychic energy too, because we cannot forget that the High Priestess is giving you that psychic energy right off the bat. Like you came in with a lot of psychic awareness already, or spirit awareness. That is actually going to help you heal as well, but you're taking this healing to a level where you're finding what brings you joy. And even if you're afraid of how other people are going to react, your clarity and your manifestations grow and grow the more you start showing off a little bit. That's what I feel like is needed, is for you to like show off a little bit more what you can do in this lifetime, okay? Your soul wants that. Like your soul wants to be praised. It wants to get recognition for showing off. Now, it could be not in like a very showy performative way for everybody. You know, this is a general reading, so it may not be to the extent of like performing and playing an instrument. It can be that for some of you guys, but for some of you guys, you may want to create, I feel like this is a very creative group. You may want to create these artistic pieces or create something that you then kind of step back and your work kind of speaks for itself, and other people are looking at it and be like, wow, this is really well done. You know, I have a friend who does drawings and watercolor paintings, and she posts them on Instagram, and they're so beautiful and they're so imaginative, but she's not in the spotlight. You know, it's not about her, but she enjoys her artwork getting out to the people that need it, and they're sending her praise, they're liking it, they're commenting. All of that stuff can be very fulfilling for you, but you may feel like you're holding yourself back from stepping fully into that soul's path and allowing yourself to put yourself out there in that way, because you either are afraid that the competition will be too much for you because of your emotional wellness and well-being and because of things that happened in the past, but your soul is strong enough for this, okay? Your soul is strong enough, and it knows it can do it. It knows it can even get judgment from other people and be okay, okay? Because you have been through a lot of shadow work, and you've probably experienced some ridicule in the past, for some of you in your childhood or in a relationship where somebody else was holding you back. So I just had to restart my camera. But what, as I was saying, is you may have found that people were holding you back from pursuing, and now there's a mental blockage of like, whenever I put myself out there, all I get is judgment. But that's because that was your past, okay? Your soul is calling to you again. That's why you came to this reading. Ask your guides, ask your spirit guides, your angels, hey, help me to step into this. And this can even be just the start of just what inspires you. That's the most important thing. It doesn't even matter that family members or the people closest to you in your childhood, it does, or relationship, it doesn't even matter if they didn't like what you did. What do they know? They do not know what your soul path is. They don't know what your soul here came to do. It wasn't for them, okay? And again, this is righting past wrongs and uprooting. So you're planting new seeds. You are growing. Oh, and even, yeah, there's a lot of roots. I just even realized too, there's just so many roots in this. Your soul is wanting to plant roots in the physical, meaning it wants to create something tangible that can be appreciated and can be inspiring to others in, I feel like it, for many of you, in an artistic way, in a musical way, in a spiritual way, but in a way that is going to inspire others at a soul level. So let's finish up group 3. We're going to pull some oracle cards for you to see any other final messages, and then we will lastly pull some witch cards to see what magic you guys have, what your soul's magic is in this lifetime. Now, I also will mention too, I would love it if you would comment down below, let me know which card was your favorite by the end of this reading, or just let me know what resonated with you for this reading and what you found helpful in this reading. I would love to know so that I could chat with you down in the comments below. Okay, so let us keep pulling some cards for my group 3s, and we'll get some final messages. What do my group 3s need to know? Okay, so we have 2 more cards. We have ideal course of action, and we have empowerment. So this is very strong action. First, we have ideal course of action. And to me, this is going to happen as you begin to connect with your masculine energy. So you can do that in a bunch of different ways. Moving your body around and really grounding yourself is going to be great. I feel like for this group, I feel like if you are connected to gardening and actually planting seeds, that would be really great. I feel like expressing yourself, even if it's just for yourself right now, is going to open up an ideal course of action for you. But you have to really start doing, I feel like with this group, really start taking some actions. Anything would be great just to start putting it out there. because I feel like the Hermit is guiding the way. And this is telling me that your inner self is strong, your inner self is connected to your spiritual self. And so the Hermit is stepping in. He wants to guide you into creating something with this energy. So again, find different ways. You can listen to binaural beats for your root chakra or for your lower chakra. Start to activate those and start to kind of ground that energy. Also, we have empowerment, and that is really what I hope this reading is doing for you, because I know this group has a lot of power, has a lot of strength within you, and your own self-empowerment is what is going to allow you to step into your true joy and your true happiness. You've come so far with this healing Ace of Cups energy. You've come so far stepping into this, and this really is the first step. And trusting your intuition and not listening to the thoughts or the fears that are telling you that there's too many people to compete with, or that there's no way to do this, there's no options. This may, or nobody's gonna like it either with the Three of Pentacles. Like, I'm gonna do it, nobody's gonna like it. I don't even know where to start. You know, everybody's going to just be competing or whatever it is. That was the past. And you have the opportunity to empower yourself and know that you're not going to be for everyone. Your art, your abilities, your talents, whatever you're doing to really feel inspired about this, it may not be for everybody, or however you approach things. Even if maybe you're just working on your family and really grounding yourself and stepping into a family life that is going to build on itself or pursue things that really bring you passion in your family. So it can be so many different ways that this appears, but just keep in mind, like, it's important to empower yourself and know that just because somebody says they don't like something that you did, or they don't think it's any good, that doesn't mean that they're right. Their opinion is wrong. I feel like your opinion is wrong because of what your soul purpose is, okay? You actually have a really good creative idea, creative resources, ideas, and inspirations. You have a lot of really great creativity within you and if it's not even artwork, but I do feel like a lot of you guys are just kind of artists in general, maybe writers or performers or singers, or just kind of connected to the creative realms. I feel like you guys are really good at that. But the way that you do that is inspiring to others. And I think that's why you're needing to share that with the world and not just keep that to yourself. And that's why I feel like your soul came here to do that. So people who don't understand it, they just don't see your vision. And some people can't really see creative visions because that's just not what they're here to do. But you are here to follow your creative vision and to see it through. Okay, let's keep going with the Witch cards and see what your magic is and what your magic is bringing to your soul's purpose, how you can work with it as well. Let's see what your card or cards are. Okay, this one came out, stuck in my hand. We have, oh cool, we have Goblin Witch, hoarding, abundance, and clutter. All right, so hang on to that, because I do feel like that is related to the Five of Pentacles. So let's see what the other message is for this group. Oh, we have Dianic Witch, femininity, goddess, and fertility. So abundance is coming up for you twice, okay, in this reading. And I mentioned your strengths are in the divine feminine energy. You also have the Ace of Cups. This is water energy, very divine feminine. So your power and your strengths and your magic that you came in here with, that you can use in order to walk your soul's path, is in the divine feminine. As I mentioned, goddess, fertility. Fertility to me as well is abundance, okay? So this divine feminine energy that you're working with, you can use it to help you to move forward, because you need that just as much as you need the masculine energy. You don't want to throw that out, but because you're already talented in it, use it to heal yourself. Use it to allow the answers to come in for you. Now, what I feel with Goblin Witch, hoarding, abundance, and clutter is I again feel that you have a either disgust or an aversion to things, and that's because of this Five of Pentacles as well, which is that you have an aversion to money, or even feeling as though like collecting possessions. I know it's almost saying that like you're hoarding, but I don't see it that way at all, because of this Five of Pentacles and because of what I was saying earlier, which is that you're feeling as though you can't, and for many of you, you can't hold on to things because you're always afraid you're going to lose them. And if that's the case, and it becomes, you know, if it becomes out of control, it could result in hoarding because you're afraid of losing people that you may attach emotions and strong, like, attachments emotionally to objects. Okay, so this is a caution that you are able to create a fertile, abundant life for yourself, but that this could swing the other way, and that if you attach yourself emotionally to things for stability, that it's not true stability. Okay, and that your true strength and stability is going to come from walking your soul's path, and again, believing in yourself, empowering yourself to maybe even step out of your comfort zone a little or show off a little bit so that you can get that praise and that admiration that you really deserve in this lifetime and that your soul came here to experience. But there is some kind of aversion to money or some kind of blockage to things, to gifts, or like maybe giving or receiving gifts, where you might feel like it is a manipulation tactic, or you might feel as though it clutters you and you feel like you need to kind of get away from small spaces. Things like that could be because you feel a bit trapped in your body and you're needing to kind of ground yourself and really embody your human life here. Because you're, as I said before, you kind of have one foot in this door and one foot in the next because of your shadowy past. So Group 3, I hope all these messages were helpful to you. Please don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what your favorite card was, or if there was parts of this reading that really resonated with you and that was your favorite part of the reading. I'd love to chat with you in the comments below. Also, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and join our family of celestial beings, especially if you are resonating with these readings, because I will be bringing you so many more in the future. And really, that's going to do it for this reading. I hope to see you back again soon, but bye for now. Hello, all my beautiful celestial beings who chose pile number 4. I have your pile right here with the red tiger's eye on it. So let's set your stone aside so you can dive on into your pile. We're going to start with this oracle card, and it says, you got the love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Okay, so your soul is here to really work on relationships and connections. This could be romantic relationships and desires, to work through karmic balances between people, and even you may just have a strong connection with love and with romance. Okay, I feel as though your soul may be desiring a strong marriage and love life where you are connecting to somebody in a new way, connecting to somebody like your soulmate, like a twin flame in this lifetime. And your soul may feel this desire to find its mate, to find its twin, to find its partner, and also to really connect to emotions at a deeper level. Okay, so I just had to change my battery, but I also want to mention that this group may also want to experience the giving and receiving of love and that exchange. So that could mean that you're very much drawn to a home life, serving others, your soul wanting to just kind of be able to be of service to others and to be thoughtful to others, I guess, you know, and to live your life maybe at home with family. This could be in that way. It could be in a career form where you are able to kind of be very loving and you feel fulfilled by giving and giving to others and receiving. So it's kind of this kind of back and forth as you feel whole, you feel connected to others by offering your love, by offering your nurturing to them in some way, shape, or form. So I do see this group as maybe in their watery energy is what their soul is desiring to be in. Maybe they don't feel a strong desire to be on their own, to be independent. You know, maybe that's your soul just is not feeling that in this lifetime. It maybe did that enough in past lifetimes and it really just wants to settle in to strong connections and learning how to give to others, give this love and to receive this love and to feel that kind of back and forth and that safeness in that, I feel like. So let's keep going, because we're going to dive first into the South Node, which is going to be your past lives and also what you came into this world really comfortable in and what you're trying to move out of with your soul and to balance out. Then we're going to move into more North Node energy, which is all about your future and also kind of what your soul is really longing to do. And then lastly, we're going to see how you can get onto your soul's path, what is needed in order to really stand firmly in your soul's path and walk it. And then lastly, again, I will be pulling oracle cards at the end of this reading as well for final messages, and also to find out what your personal magic is and your strength is that you could bring to the situation. So that's a quick overview, but let's keep going. We have the Two of Wands, the Ace of Wands, we have the Five of Cups, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so I feel like with this group, I feel as though you guys really were very ambitious when you came into this world. I feel like you may have been very outspoken, and you may have also felt very like spontaneous. And this may have been, now this could be in your childhood, or this could have been in past lives, but your soul is very comfortable in kind of being a pioneer of things, starting things, being the first one to be different. Maybe you kind of dressed in all different colors when you were a kid. Maybe you expressed yourself openly. Maybe you were in plays when you were a kid. Maybe you kind of were all over the place. And I feel like you may even still be in this energy of like not wanting to really give that up. At some level, you're afraid to really give up this identity because you're so comfortable in it. Because with the Two of Wands, I feel like you're constantly like, I could do this or I could do that, and I'm good at this and I'm good at that, so I'll just do both, you know? And like, you're just constantly like, yeah, I could take this third thing on too. Like, yeah, let's start it. Let's start this project. Let's do it. I can do it. I know how to do it. Really confident in yourself as far as like, I know what I'm doing. I know how to do this. I can be really creative if I want to. I can also like work really hard and get things done if I want to. I'm feeling like almost Sagittarius South Node with this for some of you guys. It doesn't have to be, but what I do feel as though is that energy, like emotional energy, it's just something that you don't have time for. Like, you're just like, I don't have patience for dealing with all these emotions. Like, I'm ready to reach my goals. Let's make a decision, people. Like, let's do this. That's kind of like the energy I'm seeing. You may even feel like you get bored very easily. Sometimes with people, you get very bored too. And this could be something that you in the past were feeling and now are starting to feel like a shift in what your soul wants. But a lot of times if we come into this earth, especially the South Node energy, as being a hard worker, you may have even been very successful career-wise already. Like, you might say, yep, I pursued my careers, my passions in my career. I am working hard. I've done a lot already. Like, look at all these accomplishments with the Ten of Pentacles. But when it comes to kind of dealing with love energy or dealing with setting boundaries for yourself as well, because as I said before, is that because you could really do anything, like you could really take on a lot, and you're really good at getting things done, and you are really good at like doing things really well and coming up with solutions. Okay, so you may even find yourself being like the solution person, but at the same time you may have an aversion to kind of dealing with emotions or dealing with other people's emotions, because as I said before, there's kind of this energy of like, all right, let's get over it. Like, we need to get things done. It's more important like to figure this out and to get through this. And that might be your strength in this lifetime. Okay, so that's really where your soul is comfortable in. And also, again, you might find that you're almost taking on too much, because we have codependency and boundaries. So it may be in this lifetime that your soul is kind of saying like, hey, and you may even be feeling this shift already, but you may be starting to say, hey, you know what, like, I kind of don't want to take on all these things, and now I actually have taken on too many things, and even though I'm really good at all these things and I can get them done, like, you know, you can do it. You definitely can do it, and you've proved that. There's a part of you that still feels incomplete, and that's why if you're are still in this energy, your soul is really wanting to move into a different energy. Your soul is really wanting to move forward into something different. And this is where the North Node comes in, where it's like what your soul path really is in this lifetime is to live out this experience. So let's see what that is. We have the Nine of Wands, the Three of Cups, the World is in reverse, and the Ten of Cups is in reverse as well. So what I'm seeing is your soul really wants to feel a connection with people that's more than just a business transaction. You know, there's a deeper connection that is wanting it. You kind of want to have the best of both worlds, where it's like you want the family, but you want the ability or even just connections with people, because we see the Three of Cups as well. There's this desire to have a deeper connection with other people. That's more than just kind of being a workhorse, or more than just kind of like when we do something together, we're like just doing something, versus really connecting at a deeper level. And I also want to mention for whatever group really is that, and I've kind of repeated this a few times, but like, it is important to really sit and consider this for a bit, because if it doesn't resonate per se right away, you might want to just sit with it a little longer. I'm not saying that this is like, I'm not trying to like force you to resonate with it, but when it comes to a North Node energy or a soul's path, sometimes we think we can only be one way because of our South Node, or because of what we were in past lives. But when the North Node comes in and is saying something's not right, like I don't feel fulfilled, it's probably because we're wanting that change, but we're not used to it. So it may feel uncomfortable at first, is really all I'm saying. Is it may feel uncomfortable, and that may appear to be that it doesn't resonate. But regardless of whether or not you're feeling like this resonates or not, looking into your North Node, which I will link down below, can help you to really question what is it that your soul really truly wants. Maybe your thoughts, though, sometimes, you know, whenever we kind of start to listen to our soul, our thoughts can tell us that we're not like for that because of what is familiar. So our thoughts could say, well, no, this is how we function and we don't want to change. But the North Node does want you to change, and your soul's path typically does want you to grow and settle firmly into the North Node, which you may already feel that you are moving into this energy as well. Because I feel as though with the Nine of Wands, you're wanting to really sit back and enjoy what you have already done, and be at peace and be like fulfilled by what you have already done in this lifetime. Because as I said, you may have already done a lot. I feel like you want to sit back and you want to celebrate with friends. You want to be able to truly just enjoy people's company without feeling like you need to do more. You know, you want to feel as though you're whole within yourself. With the World and Ten of Cups, you want to feel as though you're whole within yourself without the need to constantly kind of prove it, you know. Now, some people too, this is not, you know, this is different. So everybody's different, because in other groups, the tendency is to want to finally express themselves and to be out in the open. But for this group, I feel as though you have done a lot, and your soul is almost feeling like, you know what, like, I've done that. I feel like I'm tired of taking on more things. I know I'm going to be good at it, or I know I'm going to get it done, but my soul is tired of it. And it wants a deep, intimate connection with somebody. Intimate connections with close friends, with the Three of Cups. Being able to look at what you have accomplished and achieved and say, wow, I'm really proud of myself, and I feel fulfilled by that, with the Nine of Wands. And then we have the World and the Ten of Cups, which is this beautiful conclusion of like, I want to feel whole and well-rounded within myself, and see that within myself alongside people who I really truly deeply love and I connect with at a soul level, instead of just with a business transaction, as I said. And this may be that you feel like you have avoided Five of Cups energy. You know, you've been avoiding some Cups energy here. So your North Node may be in a water sign. I think I might have said that already. If I haven't, it's a possibility for you guys. You may find that, yeah, friendships and your healing interactions and connections with other people, it may feel foreign to you. It may feel uncomfortable at first for you because you're not used to it. But your soul is desiring to have that finally, to have this inner connection with yourself, to feel good about everything that you've done and not have the need to take on more and more and more stuff. Okay, so let's keep going. We're going to find out what other recommendations the cards have for working with this energy and stepping fully onto your soul's path. We have the 5 of Coins, again with fives, okay? So this could be in your 5th house too for some of you. Just a possibility, maybe not, but 5 is coming through strongly. 5 of Coins we have. We have the Fool. We have Judgment. And we also have the Ace of Wands coming back again, okay? So let's see how this transforms. So what I'm feeling though is that you can use your creativity and your creative energy, and this can assist you in this transition. But with Judgment and the Fool, you're really having to open yourself up to a new way of thinking about things and a new way of approaching things, because even though you're still very strong with this Ace of Wands energy, and it's not a blockage, is kind of what I'm seeing. It's like your creative energy, your ambition, and this desire to do and explore. It doesn't mean that you have to completely throw that away, because that's something that your soul is really good at and it comes naturally to you. Really what we're seeing here is accepting that the tangible results, okay? So you may already be very good at creating wealth for yourself, very good at your job. People really go to you for a lot of things with your job. You may find that it's important to, like, you're going to have to kind of accept that it's not going to fulfill you, that these physical things are not going to fulfill you. And you may have to say no and set boundaries with yourself in accepting more things. It may feel as though you are missing out, okay? And that's what the 5 of Cups is, 5 of Coins is saying in this, is it's kind of like you might feel as though it's a financial loss, and you may feel as though you're missing out on an opportunity to do more. But this is the recommendation here of how to move away from this energy. You're going to have to set some boundaries and say no to certain people, because you're turning to a different way of thinking and a different way of approaching things. Now with Judgment and the Fool, these are spiritual cards, okay? This is major arcana. So I really feel like this group is needing to dive into your spirituality in a way that makes sense for you. So this could mean starting to work on yourself alone, okay? For some of you, if this is Sagittarian South Node, for some of you, this is something where you are going to need to spend less time with people and more time by yourself. And that could be very, very uncomfortable. And that's why sometimes we feel like, well, this isn't for me, but it still may be something that your soul does need in this lifetime, even if it maybe doesn't feel comfortable right away. But because you have Judgment and the Fool, I feel as though you're needing to not look at things as though you already know everything about them, okay? And that may be kind of, you know, you guys may already feel like I'm in that place where I'm questioning myself and questioning what I think is true. I feel like because you've been approaching things so much from a certain angle and you're good at it and you know you get things done, and sometimes you feel like, am I the only one who can do this right? You know, because you're so good at things and you can complete things in a very like innovative way and efficient way. So sometimes you think that, oh, spiritual growth, you know, with Ace of Wands, spiritual growth, yeah, I could do that. I'm so good at that. And it's not so much that you're bad at it as much as you might have to kind of turn that thought process off and just open yourself up to understanding things at a different level here, okay? But again, this is going to bring in connections for you that really matter and that really feel great. Like, these are deep connections that you feel like you're missing out on at a soul level. So your soul is here to go through a spiritual awakening. Like, that is short and sweet. That is what it is here. It's here to have a higher awareness. It's here to go within. And with the Fool card too, so the Fool is really seeing things in a fresh way and also kind of putting aside your knowledge, putting aside what you think you know about the situation and allowing something that you completely have no idea about, you know, in some sense. You're almost like approaching it in a sense of, let me just learn. I'm just here to step into this energy and learn from other people who maybe do have a different way of looking at things, okay? Sometimes with Sagittarius South nodes, and I know I'm kind of harping on that, it doesn't necessarily mean you have one, but I feel like this message might be helpful for some of you guys, is that sometimes they, you know, because you know of how to do things so well for yourself, you have a way of accomplishing things and being successful at them, that you think that that's gonna, you might like assume that works for everybody. So sometimes if this can get out of hand, it can cause a certain type of person to maybe tell everybody how to do something because they're like, no, this worked for me, like it will definitely work for you. But unfortunately, it actually may not, and most likely will not, because you've mastered yourself in that way. But, you know, being open to the differences in other people and being okay with them too is going to help you. Like, it's almost like you have to kind of release and let go of the very specific way that you do things and open up to a totally different way. And this is gonna help you step onto your soul's path, which again, remember, your soul really wants a break. Your soul really wants to focus on deepening soulful connections with other people. And I also mentioned romantic connections as well, because you got the love, okay? This soulful connection. And I see codependency. Other people may be codependent on you because they rely on you to do things for them. So you may have to set boundaries with certain people because you're no longer going to be that person. You're really good at being that person who, you know, I almost feel like you're the type of person who, when, you know, this could relate to some of you guys, is when you need to like plan an event, everyone's like, oh yeah, that sounds fun, but nobody like follows through and like puts it together because they're just like, you know, it just kind of goes by the wayside. You're the one who's putting it together and getting everybody together so that either like a project can happen or a party can happen or like an event can happen. You can do that. Because of that, like, you're needing to maybe set boundaries with other people. And it could be on all different types of scales, but what you're really desiring here is this opportunity to slow down, to give yourself credit for what you've already accomplished, to kind of say no to projects. Again, with 5 of coins, you might feel like you're missing out, but your soul really wants to shift gears. And I think what you may start to find if you don't start saying no to these things is that you may start to find that you become more and more dissatisfied with the work that you're doing, or you become more and more overwhelmed with the work that you're doing, or with the things that you are taking on, either for other people or for yourself. You may still be doing it for yourself, but you may feel like this no longer, or I can't see the fulfillment in that. And this is because what your soul is really desiring is a deeper level of understanding yourself and of inner growth, really, with the Ace of Wands. Starting this inner growth path, and we have this beautiful awakening journey, because there's a lot that you can learn, okay? There is a lot to be learned for you in this lifetime. I think you're really going to enjoy delving deep into that. Remember, you have the 5 of Cups in reverse, so this is needing to work on the emotional, watery energy in your life. You may find that you gravitate towards emotional people or towards people with water energy who are expressing their emotions very freely. And sometimes you may get impatient with it, or you may kind of roll your eyes at it if somebody is very emotional. But this could be siblings, this could be parents, this could be friends, this could be spouses or children. But really, your soul is desiring to be as in touch with its own emotional energy. And that's why we get drawn to people who are either opposite of us, who either we find ourselves envying, or who we find ourselves getting annoyed by too, like strongly. So you might want to look at people surrounding you as well to kind of figure out what your soul is desiring. So we have bountiful harvest. So I feel too as though you don't have to worry about, oh, and this is an earth energy too, like the world. You have the world in reverse too. I don't feel as though giving up on, this is like reassurance, like giving up on projects and giving up on doing is not going to make you be unable to like create abundance. Because I almost feel what I'm getting from this card as well is that you probably will find actually that the more you get in touch with this emotional energy, the more you delve into your spiritual side and connect with your intuition and all these kind of like intangible things that seem mystical. And you may even find yourself too like really drawn to the fantasy, really drawn to fairies and magic and Harry Potter and like fantasy movies and Lord of the Rings and books and stuff. You may find yourself drawn to those things because it fascinates you and you want to delve into the mystical, you want to delve into the magical side of things. And that's a very strong like watery energy too, of like beautiful things and murky water that you kind of like analyze or look into and enjoy the emotion while it's happening, versus always focusing on kind of how you're serving and what you're doing. So I feel like you already kind of have that. I also feel like with this world energy that the world is mostly made of water, you know, and I feel like for you are full of a lot of emotions that you haven't yet tapped into. You haven't dipped a toe yet into the oceans of the world. And so that's really what your soul is desiring to do, is kind of like swim around and dive deep into this mermaid energy, really, and find more about yourself and find more about other people and feel like an energetic, emotional connection at an even deeper level with other people. So this isn't that you don't have these emotions or that you don't have this ability. This is your permission to pursue that. Even if you feel like, well, that's not me, that's not who I am. You may feel that way because of what you're used to, because of your past experiences or your childhood experiences, or even just, okay, I just have to restart my camera, but I was saying just where you're at right now, you may feel like it's foreign to you, but this is really where your awakening is coming from. So that's bountiful harvest. I feel like things and manifestations will come in that much easier and more effortlessly the more you dive into this. And then we have with potential gateway, we have this gateway of a heart opening up in the tree. And these are also the tree, these energies are really blue and green. It kind of gives me mermaid vibes again, ocean water vibes, and also heart chakra vibes as well, with this heart in the center. I feel like your heart is opening up as a portal, and that's really what your soul wants to do in this lifetime. So you may already be really feeling drawn into expanding your heart chakra. We also have You Got the Love, okay? So there's no doubt that this heart energy is opening up for you, that divine love is opening up for you. You may want to buy some rose quartz for yourself too and work with this love energy. It's going to be really healing for you, and it's also, you're going to find that you're also going to naturally just bring in the world, like it's going to make you feel whole overall in your life to be doing this, okay? All right, lastly, let's see what your magic holds in this lifetime. What is your soul's magic? Gonna see what cards come out for my group 4s so that you know how to work with your own personal magic, and also what your soul's meant to be doing with your magic perhaps. Let's just see what comes through. If you are enjoying this reading, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you haven't done so already. And if you would like to see more readings from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And lastly, please comment down below and let me know what was your favorite card in this reading perhaps, or what part of this reading resonated with you. I'd love to have a conversation with everybody in the comments down below. So, I at first thought this was just one card, but actually 2 of your cards came out at once. We have Intuitive Witch, Higher Self, Divinity, and Manifestation. And then we have Fire Witch, Ignition, Personal Power, and Intensity. Oh my gosh, the spot on combination of these cards is so amazing. You have fire intensity for sure. Let's just start with Fire Witch, okay? I mentioned Sagittarius a few times, but you know, you could be any kind of fire sign or just kind of relate to this fiery energy in your south node, okay? So remember that we're talking about the south node, so even if you're not a fire sign, you may find that it's in your south node. So it is a part of yourself. So it could be in other aspects of your chart, in other words. But you have ignition, you have personal power, you have intensity, right? This is your magic. You have this magic already at your fingertips. And I feel like you've already powered your life from this intensity and this creativity and going out there and getting what you want. I mean, you have so much Wands energy. This is fire energy for sure. Now, what's interesting is you also have this intuitive energy, and this is the energy of the water cards that we've been talking about. So you've got the fire and water. You can even see just from looking at this card, like there's a blue energy, water cups energy, and then there's the fire. And this is what we've been talking about. Your soul's path is to cool down that fire a little bit. Like your soul has that, and it always will, okay? And we also have manifestation with Intuitive Witch, which is showing that you can manifest intuitively and not necessarily always having to use this intensity, okay? Which is great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with your fire energy. There's nothing wrong with your intensity. But if we have been in that energy for so long, we can get bored of it, and our soul wants to experience something different, or it wants to level up even more. It wants to step through this gateway, this heart chakra gateway, and step fully into an even deeper level of power. So I want to say that you do have this intuitive power. You might think, well, that's not me. I'm not very intuitive. I don't really have a lot of water energy in me, or I don't really feel connected to my intuition. You may feel that still. But the point is, your soul came here to express its intuition, to dive deep into it. So you're really meant to come here and turn that intuitive energy on full blast and to really dive into it. So we have higher self. That's your spiritual journey. You're here to have an enlightening experience and do this work, this inner work. Divinity. You are here to experience the divine energy. So you might love thinking about fantasy. You might love, thinking, or just have this desire to be around people who are magical, or this desire to be more intuitive and have more psychic abilities. And that is because this is what your soul came here to be. That's because this is who you are. You're also this fiery person. You're also this creative firecracker person. But your soul came here to step into this water energy while you're here and enjoy that. And it should feel good. It should always feel good to know, like, I get to do this. A lot of times too, and I said it in one of the other groups too, but like the only way I could describe it is like sometimes it can feel like it's forbidden, or it's like naughty to want something that is your soul's purpose, because you think like, oh, I really want to be like that person, but I'm not like them. Like I shouldn't feel that way. Or it could feel like either selfish, or it could feel silly, because we're like, well, no, like I shouldn't be able to have that. Like that's not for me, kind of a feeling, while at the same time really, really, really wanting it, So for example, for some of you, maybe you really do want this like lovey-dovey romantic partnership that is super like fantasy-esque and super, sappy and all that stuff. Like you might really, really, really want that, but you feel like, oh, that's silly. Like I can't have that. That shouldn't be for me. But the reason your soul wants that like lovey-dovey friendship or relationship, partnership, and that sappiness, maybe that's not the best word for it, but maybe you guys relate to that. You guys get the idea. That you came here to do that and to embrace that side of yourself that wants to be kind of cheesy or romantic, or wants to be really fantasy driven and excited about divination, excited about spirituality and learning more about it, and opening yourself up to that possibility is so important for you guys right now, okay? And it starts with letting go of some of the work, letting go and setting boundaries with people as to what you're willing to add onto your plate, okay? Because you want to take that time that you were killing it, and getting things done. You want to take some of that time and start directing it towards your own spiritual growth, your own spiritual journey, okay? Oh my goodness, group 4, thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I truly, truly hope these messages were helpful to you. Please don't forget, comment down below, let me know which card resonated the most with you, or just what aspect of this reading resonated. And if you have not done so already, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, join my family of celestial beings so that we can do more readings just like this one. Also, let me know too if you did try the automated number generator and if it worked for you. I would love to know, because I am setting this intention, but if other people are not resonating with it, then maybe we won't do that, but hopefully that was helpful and worked for you guys. Anyway, I hope to see you back again soon. Thanks so much for joining me for this reading, but bye for now.